Well, I'm delighted to be joined here in the studio by Sophie Corcoran, who is a student at Durham University and who's trying to sort of rail against this. Sophie, a very good morning. Give us a sense of the mood in Durham, of what's going on, because surely free speech is an absolute fundamental right of everybody, but in particular in universities.
The mood is very toxic right now. Obviously, the media involvement has toxified the environment. There is a definite witch hunt against Tim Luckhurst, and they want him gone.
But surely his colleagues in the world of academia, I mean, he's obviously been there, I suspect, for a number of years, many years. Are they not standing up for him? I mean, where's their sense of team spirit, their sense of collegiality?
Oh, there is none. They're all turning against him. From almost the moment that it was seen on social media, we started to receive emails from colleges and academic departments. So obviously the likes of the head of biology, a lot of the academics are over Twitter. I know one of them actually wrote a personal letter to the university basically asking for Tim Luckhurst's head. They want him gone. All of the academics want him gone. The colleges want him gone. The vice principals of South College also want him gone. He hasn't really got any support from students or staff alike.
I mean, it sounds extraordinary. Is it the case that actually the academics themselves, the grown-ups in the room, the adults in the room, so to speak, although obviously everybody's an adult, but are the staff, the academics, actually even in a possible worse than the students in trying to have him cancelled?
I think they're all just as bad as each other. Obviously, it started from the students, but the staff are the ones who are sort of giving the students a almost, confirmation of that's what they should be doing, encouragement. And a lot of them actually joined the protest. So if you see some of the photos from the protest, you see people wearing pink hats, and they're UCU hats. So they are the members of staff who are also joining the protest. So a lot of them are really fueling the fire underneath these students and basically encouraging them to go further and further and one of the emails actually said, I know that you're angry, and that if they post harmful things about Tim Luckhurst in their windows, because there's a lot of sign at the windows, that he's not going to take it down. So they're not, I know, I read the bottom of the email, and they're not going to take it down. So they can basically say whatever they like about Tim Luckhurst, and the university are not going to punish the students.
That almost sounds like the university is accepting incitement to hate.
Yes, that's exactly what they're doing, because in their eyes, because it's on the left side of the argument and they're fighting against hate speech, using hate speech, which in my opinion makes no sense, they're fine with it.
Goodness me. And you weren't at the event, were you?
I was not at the event, no, I was back down here.
But have you spoken to people who were at the event itself?
Oh, my best friend goes to South College, so I get all of the
I
get all of the emails, all of the inside information, so it's good.
And so what's the prospect of a counter campaign, a support Tim Luckhurst campaign being launched and becoming a thing in its own right?
I think very minimal in terms of the university, just because the reason why this campaign was able to gain traction so quickly is because all of the student associations are the ones, and the student union. The student union have been really sneaky in saying that it was just a student-led protest and it was nothing to do with, the student union of the university. No. The student union were behind it. They were at the protest. Siobhan Twins, who's the president of the student union, is pushing this. No surprise. She's called Jeremy Corbyn the White King. And so that is why, the Durham People of Colour Association, the Working Class, all of them are rallying together to do this. There's no real opposition to this campaign. So although we get it from the wider media, that's, I think, how we're going to keep tabs on the students.
And is there concern that Tim Luckhurst invited Rod Liddle in the first place, or is it the fact that he called a few grumpy students who walked out pathetic? Or is it something else greater? Is it, for example, that is Tim Luckhurst politically active on the other side of the debate, for example?
I think they're angry at all three of those things. So I've seen a lot of comments from students saying the university should now investigate tweets that Tim Luckhurst has made because they're party political and a principal shouldn't be doing that. They were angry at the fact that he invited Rod Liddle, but the university have thrown him under the bus, but they're the ones who confirmed Rod Liddle's appointment. And obviously a lot of the anger is because of what Rod Liddle said, and then they're now trying to place the blame on Tim Luckhurst because he called them pathetic. But to be honest, they are pathetic. So he was honest about that.
And in terms of free speech, is it true that speakers may now have to essentially submit their speech before they speak?
So a lot of the, idea of the protest, the biggest thing that they want to change is they want to have something called content warnings. So not only do the speakers now have to go through the Students' Union and through our Jeremy Corbyn loving Student Union president, they also have to submit what they're saying in their speech, and their speeches effectively have to be vetted before they're allowed to happen, which is a chilling
absolutely
attack.
Extraordinary. I've been lucky enough to be invited to speak at Durham, which I love. It's a great place to speak. In the debating union. So are you saying that might even apply there?
Oh, yes. So everything. So I was going to have a show on the student radio, and I had to submit any guests at all to the Students' Union.
You had to get the guests vetted.
Yep.
And then what they say has to be vetted.
Yep, pretty much. And also not allowed to you're not allowed to say anything against the student union or anything on the student.
So that's the end of any more invites that I'm going to get then. I mean,
pretty much. We're never going to see you on my campus again, I don't think, Richard.
That looks like the end of my Durham University speaking career.
But it's quite astonishing how all of this, effectively, a principal has effectively been sacked. I know he's been suspended, but he's not allowed to do a vast majority
he's been suspended already, has he?
He's been suspended under investigation. He's not allowed to do any, student-facing jobs. He's effectively been sacked in all but name. Because all of this, basically a killing of free speech on my campus has happened because of 300 crybabies out of a university of nearly 20,000 students. So a tiny, tiny, tiny minority of students, in the grand scheme of things, have been able to effectively sack a professor and destroy any attempts of free speech on our campus.
I love that expression. Crybabies, snowflakes, pathetic, wimps. I mean, who knows? Maybe some people will tweet in some other names for them or give us a call, because I just find this extraordinary. And that's a great stat. You said how many? 17,000?
There is only 300 students out of nearly 20,000. There's 19 point something thousand students.
So doing some quick maths, that's about 1.5%, I think I've got that right.
Yep, a tiny minority.
Tiny number of students have essentially completely rewritten the rules about free speech in Durham University. So where are the other thousands of students standing up for free speech? Are they too scared? What's going on?
Yes, I think they're too scared because at the end of the day, the people who are organising these protests are the ones who are in the powerful student positions. So the rest of us don't. And every time I speak about my university, even Kevin, he always says, Sophie, just be careful. And I say, why should I be careful? I shouldn't have to be careful. But that's the problem. A lot of them are scared.
And that is so worrying.
Yeah.
If students, if young people with great ideas, mad ideas, are scared of being able to stand up for free speech so that they can express it, discuss it. I mean, that's how we progress.
Yeah.
When young people challenge, us oldies, that's how we keep making progress. But if you can't discuss stuff, of whatever form in universities, then I mean, it's and Durham of all places. I wish you every success in trying to, trying to sort of get others to join you, to have the courage to speak out. And you yourself facing some grief for speaking out on this?
Oh yeah, of course. I think the second I literally just reported it at face value what it was, and they were so angry that I did that, and I was like, well, I'm sorry, but that's exactly what happened. And then obviously I get shouted at in the streets and things, of course, but it's because I'm a little bit more prolific than the others. But yeah, there's no chance, absolutely no chance. And it's so concerning because that's exactly what university is supposed to do. That's the whole purpose of university, is to, explore new ideas. That's what university is made for.
It's made for, and the whole point is surely to encourage people how to think.
Not what to think, but that's exactly what's happening. And it's the professors that are leading it. I mean, we've had professors say to me in mine that, if you're a straight white man, your life is going to be hell under the Tories. And I study business. What's that got to do with business?
It sounds horrendous. Sophie, well, I hope you don't get too much grief for coming onto this show and telling the clear, unvarnished truth about what's going on at Durham University, because that sounds horrific. I'm disappointed, clearly, that's the end of my Durham University speaking career. Who knows? If I did get invited, I'll tell you what to do. I think I would submit a fake speech, and then I would give something completely different and see how quickly I got terminated and how quickly I got cancelled. Sophie Corcoran, thank you so much. Great to have you here in the studio. Absolutely fascinating, as well as truly, truly terrifying.